President Nelson Mandela loved to celebrate his birthday with children. Their needs were always top of his agenda. Now, to mark Mandela Month, we've invited two outspoken young people to share their views on issues affecting the youth. 12-year-old Iman Bana is an author of the book Moon Girl, which I have here with me, while Mangaliso Mtlenge is a member of the Nelson Mandela's Children Fund Youth Advisory Board. Now, he first made waves when he posed a very important question in Parliament last year. Take a look. Okay, unfortunately, that was not Mangaliso, but he's here in studio with me. Guys, welcome. Very good morning. Good to have you with us.
Good morning.
Okay, let me start with you, Mangaliso. When you were in Parliament, okay, first you were 11 years old.
10.
10 now. You're 10. You haven't turned 11 yet.
No, I was 10 at the time. Now I'm 11.
You were 10 at the time when you posed that question in Parliament.
Yeah.
And that question in Parliament, you were asking, why can't kids vote? Why?
Well, sometimes political parties make decisions in their manifestos that don't really concern, when they make those decisions, they don't take
consider kids.
Yeah, they don't consider children into the matter. And maybe sometimes an adult might not see that, but maybe the child might. So maybe a certain political party makes a law that maybe takes away funds from NGOs supporting children or state-owned enterprises that support children. But now that they're taking away funding, maybe to build e-tolls or something like this, maybe the adults might not see anything wrong with that, but the child might. But if they don't have a voice, like we don't set things in Parliament, and we can't vote, so we're too easily unheard. So we need to have a very strong platform to be heard, and voting is also a very strong platform to be heard.
All right, fantastic. Iman, you were nodding your head, agreeing with Mangaliso here. What are your thoughts? You're 12 years old.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I personally believe that, as stated multiple times, children are the future, and a lot of older people do not have the same views on things that we have. Like, for example, Brexit. A lot of the youth wanted to stay in the EU, but it was the older people who made the decision to leave, you know? And that's going to affect the youth as they get older. And I believe that we should have a say in our future. If you understand.
Do you guys watch the news?
Yes.
As in, you know, current affairs and so forth. What concerns you the most, Iman, when you're, watching the news in general in South Africa?
I feel that when I watch the news, I see so much destruction and unjust in our beautiful country, and I wish that we could come together and find a solution for all of these problems, you know. Children are not getting the education they deserve. People are not getting the rights, their rights are not being fulfilled, you know. And I think that we need to come together and we need to make South Africa the beautiful country it once was.
Okay, Mangaliso, what does the former President Mandela mean to you?
I think that he was a very good freedom fighter, also a very good role model for not only everyone, not only adults around him, but also children especially, and the fact that he loved to celebrate his birthday with children, you know, because he cared so much about children, because he wasn't one of those presidents who made a law that would only benefit now, but we don't even know what this law is going to look like in the future. He made sure that he took children into account. Children were even in the presidency, and that just shows you how much, not only how he cared about children, but how much in general he just cares about the future.
So you guys are concerned about the decisions that politicians are making today, saying they're not taking into account that you are going to inherit a lot of the decisions or the outcomes of those decisions later on in life. But let's get to the fun side of things a little bit here. Moon Girl, this is a book, Iman, you wrote. It's Moon Girl. Tell us about this book. When did you write it?
So I wrote it last year around June when I was 11 years old. And Moon Girl is a story that I hold very dear to myself, as Moon Girl eventually finds her other half, and it's kind of based on my story, because for a while I was an only child and I was very, very lonely, and 7 years ago today I had a baby sister. Well, my mom gave me a baby sister. So, and that's what inspired me to write the book, because
Okay, but at 11, do you think that in our schools today, are you guys being taught to be creative? Are they letting you be creative enough in schools, Mangaliso?
No, not really. I mean, I never get any of the inspiration or creativity that I have from school. I mostly just got it from sitting at home.
Yeah. What change do you want to see in schools right now? You know, at the tender age of 11?
Well, for a big concern for me personally, I don't know if this is a concern for everyone else, but it's a concern for me that history should be taught more in school, because what I've noticed from my school, but not only just my school, but schools in general, is that kids don't know their history that much. And at my school, there was a program where if you were good at something, then you could teach it to your peers.
Yeah.
And I am very good at history, so I decided to teach my peers about history. And I was very shocked to find out that most of my peers did not even know about most of this stuff. They only knew like 5% of the stuff.
5% of the stuff. Too much PlayStation.
No, not too much PlayStation. More like schools. Some schools hide, the past. Try to like muffle it.
Okay, you want the true history to be taught to kids. Iman, lastly, what would you change in schools today? What's the one thing you feel as a 12-year-old is missing in South Africa?
We need to encourage reading and love for literature, because reading gives children an imagination, and with that imagination they become free thinkers, and free thinkers turn into leaders. And in today's times we need good leaders, and I believe there are so many children who have the potential to become amazing leaders but are not given the resources they need to take advantage of their potential.
100%. Guys, thank you so much. I'm super impressed. Mangaliso Mklenge is a member of Nelson Mandela Children's Fund Youth Advisory Board. Well done for your question in Parliament. Good one. 11 now. All right. And also Iman Bana. She's an author, child author of this lovely book. It's called Moon Girl. It's all about your little sister.
Yes.
Fantastic. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Kids, speaking on Mandela Month, of course, the late President Nelson Mandela loved to celebrate his birthday with children.